Hey, and welcome back everyone. I hope you guys had a great day so far. As promised, this is going to be part 2 of my huge, ridiculous makeup haul. So if you guys have not checked it out so far, I'm going to link it right here on the screen, as well as down below in the info bar. It's basically me talking about makeup for about 20 minutes and getting insane afterwards. So you need to check it out for sure. However, today I'm going to focus on the skincare part because I'm a skincare junkie. I'm sure a lot of you guys probably know. If you follow me on Instagram, which I'm again going to link right here, I love skincare. I like to give some mini reviews on there, and you guys probably also know that I like to focus on greatly formulated products without fragrances, loads of crap that has no scientific background. So yeah, I've shopped a lot of skincare in the last couple of months, and today I want to share with you guys what I purchased. So I hope you guys are interested as always, and if you are, just stay tuned. But before I get started, I just want to update you guys on the current state of my skin, because I'm not sure if I've ever specified on my YouTube channel that for about 1.5 years, my skin had been breaking out continuously and so significantly to the point that I was led to believe that I had full-on adult acne. I mean, it certainly was not just a blemish-prone face. I had some really bad, huge, painful cysts on my skin, and I had no idea what was triggering all of these blemishes. I certainly did not change anything about my diet, nor did I introduce any new fancy products or very irritating products at all. Every single time that I went to my mother's house, my mom lives quite far away from me, and I washed my face, I bathed, my skin cleared up completely to the point of having very perfect skin, even not having these red pesky marks that were left on my skin for months on end disappeared like this. I'm not even kidding, it was magical. I started to realize that the only common denominator, the only trigger that was causing my skin to break out was the water in the area that I lived in. I found out that the water in my area is so-called hard water, which essentially means that a lot more mineral deposits are in the water here. Every single time that I was washing my face, the water was just not capable of taking off all of that residue from the cleanser, and therefore also my makeup, grime, oil, dirt that accumulated throughout the day. I was always following up with the rest of my skincare, slathering and stacking on my creams and serums and lotions, and basically locking in all of that residue and grime and dirt into my skin. Now I transitioned into using distilled water on my facial skin only. I usually shower like normal. I just try to keep my face away from the water. And that's been helping my skin so freaking much. I mean, it's still not in a perfect state by any means. It's very much, healing up. It takes time for sure, but it's not completely broken out. So with that being said, I purchased a lot of this. I'm sure some of you guys might as well recognize it. This is my new holy grail. I cannot live without it. I purchased about 5 or 6 of these in the time being because I go through these like water, quite literally. This is the Avene thermal water. I have to say that I was so extremely skeptical for the longest time about these sort of aerosol canned waters that I never quite purchased into them. I mean, I always had one of these bottles laying around, but I never used it. Now, I cannot imagine myself not using it ever again. So what I like to do with this one is to generously spritz my entire face and then apply whatever serum, SPF, moisturizer between every single step. So I spritz my face, apply a serum, spritz my face again generously, and apply my SPF, and then again spritz my face, and then follow through with my makeup. I love this. I feel like every single time that I use it, the products that I apply on top of the wet skin absorb so much better and so much quicker somehow that it really makes a difference for me, and therefore I'm willing to kind of splurge on this because I don't feel like that it's cheap by any means. It's quite the investment, seeing that I go through it so often. I love it. I can highly recommend it. This is a holy grail for me, and I feel like that it really changed and transformed my skin and kind of helped it healing a little bit quicker than it probably usually would. I then repurchased a giant bottle of my all-time favorite facial oil. I talked about this one on my channel in a couple of videos, which I'm going to link down below in case you guys are curious. The best thing about jojoba oil is that apparently it's closest to the molecular structure of the sebum in our skin. So therefore, for our skin, it's a little bit easier to recognize that it's good for it. To put it in very vague, non-professional words here, I've been using it for years. I love it. It's very moisturizing, as every oil is, of course. And by the way, just the best combo of these. So first you spritz your face and then apply a little bit of this on top of your skin and you are golden. So this year I became particularly fascinated and so interested in doing my own research into the world of Asian skincare. I mean, it's no secret that Asian women have this particularly youthful, plump, flawless, just perfect skin, and I've always been, you know, kind of jealous of Asian YouTubers. I just wanted to venture out myself and see what products they were using and how they maintained that plump, perfect skin that they always had. I stumbled upon this cleansing oil. I'm not sure how this one is actually called. Everything will be listed down below in case you guys are curious. But I wanted to try this out because so many bloggers were raving about it. It has a rather strong, potent odor that I actually like. However, of course, I prefer for my products to have no fragrance at all. It was a miss for me because I figured that it kind of has broken me out. I really enjoyed using it on my body, however, because it smells so great and I feel like I can use this one more as like my shower cleansing oil. I would not use it on my face anymore. Still, I really like this one. However, I don't think that I would repurchase it necessarily. I purchased these two sleeping masks by a brand called CosRx. And let me tell you, I wanted to get my hands on some of their products forever. I just really appreciate and love their approach towards skincare. It's very efficacy driven. Their formulations are minimalistic and they focus on not putting a ton of crap in their skincare. They focus on scientifically proven ingredients. I had to purchase two of their products. One of them is the Ultimate Nourishing Rice Overnight Spa Mask, which had become my all-time favorite. I'm actually not a believer in these types of products because I feel like they're just glorified moisturizers, but this one had been doing its job so well. I just love it so much, and I do appreciate it being a sleeping mask that I can slather on quite thickly and go to bed and still wake up with a rather moisturized, youthful looking complexion. The other one is the Ultimate Moisturizing Honey Overnight Mask. This one has a gel texture, where this one has a rather like creamy jelly type of feel to it. This is a thick gel. It feels very like light, almost watery on the skin. I love both of them. However, I guess I kind of prefer the rice mask a little bit because I love my nourishing textures. I have very dry skin after all, and to me this one, the honey mask, is more of like a layering product that I like to layer an oil or another moisturizer on top to really lock it in because it's so very lightweight and it just absorbs so quickly that I need a little bit more. Another product that I purchased from CosRx is the AHA 7 Whitehead Power Liquid. Another product that I do not want to be without anymore. This one was a very different AHA in terms of its results on my skin. I used it on my face, neck, décolletage, on my back as well because I tend to have some acne every once in a while. And this one, oh my god, it just marched through all of these congestions that were lying under the skin and being really pesky. It brought them to the surface, number one, but also healed the ones that were already pretty much in its full effect. Last but not least, from my Asian skincare venture, I purchased this Mizon AHA 8% peeling serum. Can you tell? I love my AHAs. Chemical peels are my life basically. I use them about 3 to 4 times a week, really dependent on what else I'm using, but for the most part they are a very solid, very vital part of my everyday skincare routine. And I wanted to give this particular one a go because it's supposedly the closest dupe to the Paula's Choice 10% weekly resurfacing treatment that I love and that I always repurchase. So of course I wanted to give this one a try, and so far I've been very pleased. This one comes in a rather liquidy gel texture, so it spreads very easily and very evenly. I like these kind of gel textures. It feels light, yet it has a rather sticky finish, which is something that I absolutely detest when it comes to peelings especially, but I usually follow up with serums and moisturizers, which take away that feeling anyways. Talking about Paula's Choice, I certainly could not do a skincare haul video without mentioning at least one of her products. You guys know, I'm a fan. I've been using her products for a very long time, and I trust her formulations. And although she has raised the price tag on all of her products, I'm still willing to purchase them. I had to repurchase the clinical 1% retinol treatment that contains peptides and vitamin C, as well as a plethora of other skin-loving ingredients that are scientifically proven, that soothe your skin. This is the perfect retinol treatment if you ask someone that has been using retinols for a very long time and is very used to them. I don't ever feel like that I need to amp it up with a further moisturizer or oil on top. I love it. I can highly recommend it. As always, don't start out with this one if you never used retinol before. This is a very high strength retinol treatment that is going to make your skin peel, so please be very, very cautious and start with a lower strength. I finally gave in and purchased the Paula's Choice Resist Vitamin C Spa Treatment that contains a whopping amount of 25% of vitamin C, which is by far the highest percentage of vitamin C I've ever used on my skin. To be honest, I was expecting a lot of things from it, especially when it came to my hyperpigmentation, you know, lightening those pesky red marks that a lot of these breakouts left, and just overall giving me a more evened out complexion. However, I have to say I'm not really impressed by the texture of this. It has a rather high silicone content. The formulation of it is generally very minimalistic, which I don't know, kind of makes me question why this product is so incredibly expensive for what it is and how much you get. I didn't get anything from this one, not a single fading or lightening of any of my hyperpigmentation, although I've been using it for about 4 months, which is a long time. I'm almost out of it actually. You can tell I bought these products a long time ago. I would not repurchase it, and so far I guess I cannot recommend it. It feels weird on the skin. It's very like thick and matte, and I don't like it, so I would not repurchase it. Another repurchase, however, was the Paula's Choice Skin Perfecting 2% BHA Gel. I was always used to the cream format, which I loved because it felt very nourishing. You know, I have dry skin, as I mentioned before. This time I wanted to try the gel formulation, which basically has the same exact ingredients. I love this BHA. BHAs are perfect for pretty much all skin types, but if you are very acne prone or you tend to have very congested skin very easily, I would absolutely go for a BHA. I so far am loving it. There's nothing bad to say about this product. You guys have no idea how excited I was to get my hands on the next product. And it has stood the test of time, so much so that I'm declaring the next product to be my new holy grail SPF. And I don't say this lightly. I've been using it with all sorts of different foundations and other makeup to make sure that it can interact with these types of products that I tend to use on the regular, and it works magically. Every single foundation I currently have in my collection doesn't roll off, it doesn't look weird, it doesn't interfere in any type or form. This is the NeoStrata Sheer Physical Protection Sunscreen. It has a broad spectrum of an SPF of 50 and a PA with 4 pluses. This one has a PPD of around 19, so it still covers about 90% of UVA rays, which are the ones that aging our skin. It doesn't make my skin too shiny. I mean, now with the weather getting warmer and my skin's starting to produce more oil, yeah, I still look a little bit shiny, but I can powder that down very easily and still look rather nice. This one has a tint, by the way, which is a little bit darker than my natural skin tone. I don't mind it because I can still make it work. It's not so overly dark that it looks significant or too obvious. This one kind of functions as a pre-foundation or almost as a full-on foundation for me lately because my skin is not as bad anymore and I don't have to cover a million things. I also purchased this little guy here, and surprisingly, packaging-wise, they are completely identical. The writing on this one is just different, but they are the exact same product, made by the exact same company, which is NeoStrata. This is, however, by a sister brand called Exuviance, and this one is called the Sheer Daily Protector. It's also a broad spectrum with an SPF of 50 and a PA of 4 pluses. I purchased this one because Angie from Hot and Flashy was raving about this, and I mean, her skin looked so good with this one that I just wanted to try it. She also raved about it because it is her holy grail SPF. And after doing a little bit of research, just comparing the ingredient lists, these are the exact same products. Next, I finally purchased the Cosmetic Skin Solutions Vitamin C and E Serum because I was looking for an alternative product to my all-time favorite CE Ferulic concoction, which was by Timeless. It was the 20% CE Ferulic serum that I was using for a very long time and that I was loving. However, due to it containing benzyl alcohol, which is a drying kind of alcohol, I was just not willing to use it on the regular anymore, so I stopped and found this one. So after using this for around 3 months, 3.5, it's pretty much empty already, I have to say I liked it. However, if you use too much of it, you are absolutely going to look like a full-on mirror. It's so reflective and shiny and sticky even that it's kind of hard to apply your SPF on top because it starts to drag and slip in weird places, which is definitely not a great base for your foundation. And it happened with pretty much all of the SPFs that I had in my collection at the time, and therefore I don't think that I would repurchase it. Alright, and that was my ginormous haul. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I honestly feel like that I don't ever have to repurchase any of my skincare nor makeup ever. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up if you liked it, and subscribe to my channel to get more content in the future, which, by the way, I'm really trying my hardest to get more content out there. It's just really a timing thing. But I hope you guys stick with me. I love you guys for watching, and as always, until we meet again.